I want to teach you a few things about the navigation of your course to make sure that we all have the same understanding. So the way your modules are designed, it's 1 week at a time, and you're expected to do everything in this whole module for the week. And I know it looks long, but really, if you break it down, you look at how much time you should be spending on each thing, it's about an hour a day or less. And so you should be able to do this either if you wanted to in one day for 5 hours straight, or you could do an hour of math a day and then come back into it. So there's some things that are built into the module that are consistent every single time so that you can track better what it is that you have done and what you need to do, and identify what things are graded, what's part of your grade, and how much time each thing should take. So, for example, you'll see that there's an alarm clock and a number of minutes for the tasks that you are required to do. So this is both the anticipated amount of time that it should take you to do the task, but it's also the maximum amount of time that you should spend on it, unless it's graded. Maybe you want to spend a little more time because it is part of your grade. But I've calculated these or chosen these numbers on purpose. If we were doing this in a typical classroom, I would give you, for example, I would give you 15 minutes to do this tuna casserole assignment or task, and then we'd move on to the next one. Some of the students in the class don't finish in 15 minutes, but we do the very best we can for 15 minutes, and then we talk about and debrief or check our work, and then we move on to the next task. So I would expect you to do that in an online setting as well. Do your very best on that task. For 15 minutes, set a timer if you want to. You can do that by just Googling 15-minute timer, or by using a phone or other device like that, or if you have an Alexa or a Google Home or something like that, you can set timers on those as well. But do as best as you can for 15 minutes. If you're not finished, check what you did get done. Scroll down and check your work. And you can also read through the other solutions as well, and then move on to the next task. So that's what that timer's about. That's what it's telling you there, is that's the expected amount of time for how much you should spend total on that activity. And some of you are going to finish it sooner than 15 minutes, so then you just move on to that next task, even if the 15-minute timer did not go off yet. You'll know an assignment's graded if in the module it has a due date. So I make all the due dates Friday for the week at 2:59 p.m. That way, if you're done with all your tasks by Friday at 2:59 and you still don't have the grade that you want on the tasks for that week, you still have office hours from 3 to 4 p.m. that you can jump in and ask a few questions and get those little last few points that you want on the things that you misunderstood or didn't quite understand, and get all the points that you want for that week. So that's the reason why I put the due date and that time before those office hours. Of course, if you need more time, you can absolutely use more time the next week to finish it. Just make sure that you are always aware of how can I get this all done in a timely fashion within the week and be able to still ask my teacher questions before the weekend starts. So these practice problems are graded. That's why there's a due date. These practice problems are graded. This discussion post is graded. So the only things that are typically graded within a week are discussion posts, practice problems, and your weekly assessment, either labeled as quiz or test, if it's the Unit 1 test, or it might say end of unit assessment. But those are going to be your graded tasks. And again, you know it's graded because it has a due date. Does that mean you can skip the rest? No. If you skip the rest, it would be like you sitting in class and putting your head down on your desk and not participating until it's time to take a quiz or a test. So you really do need to do every task that's in your module. So at the beginning of the week, you could start with the very first item. You just click into that, and then you will read a lot of things. A lot of things are reading at the very beginning, reading and practice. I'm sorry that picture's not showing up. So you'll read it. These are your learning intentions and success criteria and a little bit of an overview for what it is that you're going to do this week. You read through those or use the Canvas Immersive Reader and have it read to you. That's always an option. And then after you do that, you click Mark as Done, and then the Next button. You click Next and it will go to the next item in your module. I built it this way on purpose. Now I will tell you it's kind of annoying because when you get to any practice problems that are in Derivata, it doesn't have a next button, and that makes me so angry, but it's not there. And so then you will submit your work, and then you'll have to go back to modules. So again, on this vocabulary, I'm not sure why in student view these images aren't showing up, so I will look into that, make sure it's not really an issue and it's just an accident right now with student view, which is a way that I can click and see what it looks like as a student. So you'll do the vocabulary practice, for example. You should spend at least 10 minutes on this, and you're going to click through these slides, practice, take your test with Quizlet, and then you'll mark the page done, click next, and go on to the next task. So this one has some things to read, some videos to watch. Again, this is an overview of what it is that you're going to learn this week, so it will help prepare you with the language and the basic knowledge that you are going to be using and growing throughout the week. Mark is done, click next. And the reason why I have you mark as done or submit your assignments as part of this module process is because if we go back to the module, you will see that there are check marks when you have done the thing that's required for that page. The tasks that have those alarm clocks that aren't graded, I have you mark as done to show that you spent time on that page. You did the activity that you were supposed to do. You've checked your work. You did that 10 minutes worth of work. Mark it as done. And then you'll notice that you can do as much math as you want. You don't have to stop. It's not labeled Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You do as much as you want. Maybe you set a timer and work on math for an hour, and then you come back in the next day. How do you know where to start? Well, you look at your check marks, and you can see, oh, I finished those first 3. I'm going to click into this next activity that doesn't have a check mark, and I'm going to do that. And so that will help you keep track of where you are in your module and help you pick up from day to day as you decide the pacing that you want to do for math, how much you want to do within one day. And if you want to do more on Mondays and Tuesdays and then less on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that's up to you. You get to decide how you want to do that, or you can plan to do 1 lesson a day. I never put more lessons than there are days in the week. So you can also plan to complete 1 full lesson each day, and then you'll have your quiz and also that introductory material that will be in addition to the 1 lesson per day. But again, all of that together should be about 5 hours of work in 1 week, or about 1 hour of work per day for math. On pages like this that are optional, you'll notice there's not an alarm clock. Again, that's to reinforce that this is optional. But these Khan Academy resources are helpful to a lot of students. And so there will be a video or practice or a combination of both. And in this case, this has extra practice problems that you can do. And Khan Academy practice is great because it's always short and sweet. You know, usually 3 to 5 questions, but you get that immediate feedback, and it gives you an extra way to practice the skills that we are learning within our module. So there may be a video that you can watch, so again you can get that extra clarification from a different voice besides just your teacher, or besides the language and the writing that's within these tasks, and maybe hearing it from someone else will help it to make sense to you as well. So I hope this is helpful to you. If you are still misunderstanding what it is to do and how to navigate, then let me know. I'm happy to work with you during office hours or schedule a one-to-one with you as well. But this is what I expect you to do each week within your math Canvas course, and your other classes are going to be the same way, where you open it up, you have your weekly module start at the top, and you'll also have the option to mark as done or view or submit to get those green check marks to help you figure out what it is that you've completed so far within that course. Let me know if you have any more questions.